If we can start this meeting of the Parks Commission on July 8th, 2024 with the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Can we call to order and roll call?
Okay, Chair Wrench is excused. Vice Chair Malecki? Here. Secretary Lance here. Alderwoman Day?
Here.
Commissioner Remington?
Here.
Commissioner Stanley?
Here.
Commissioner Kozler?
Here.
Non-voting ex officio Leah Voss?
Here.
Non-voting member ex officio Michelle Rente?
Here.
Kevin Schlater?
Here.
Principal Planner X?
Here.
City Engineer Glenn Morrow?
Here.
Dale Borchert?
Here.
And do we have any citizen comment period or the citizen comment? Does anybody have any comments today?
We're actually on the agenda, but
Yeah,
don't we have to wait that long to get down there?
On new business request for
We'll jump down to that then.
just jump to that.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Hey, everybody, thank you for letting us have citizen comment. That's awesome. We made copies of what was submitted to the city. I don't have enough for everybody. There's only 8 here. I didn't realize this part.
I saw it.
Is this
Okay,
the
cool.
Yes,
We got to
It was
get it.
Oh, good.
business.
All right, so my wife and I are going to have a 60th birthday party. Yeah, 60, we made it. That's awesome. And we are going to do it at the Pleasant View Pavilion, beautiful facility. Really glad that's available to Franklin residents. Our request for food is we hired the Pina food truck from Los Mariachis over on 43rd and Layton to cater food to the event. And then when we submitted the paperwork, they said we have to get approval to have the food truck there. The food truck is not available for public sale. It's not going to be there from 11 to 8. We do have the pavilion for the full day. Whoever Jenny worked with recommended we take it for the full day. They're going to come for a 2-hour period, and we're only going to have 40 to 50 people, and as soon as the food's gone, they only have a 2-hour window. They said it's either 2 hours or when the food's gone, they leave. So whether we had them come and drop off the food, set up and cater it, and then come back and take it out, we figured it's going to be an hour to 2 hours anyways to bring they're going to bring on the food truck anyways. So we were going to just request that that truck be able to be parked there for a 2-hour period. We let our guests know, hey, be there between whatever time, 4 and 6 or 3 and 5. 2 to 4. Sorry, 2 to 4. For people to come up, get served, and then we were at another event at the pavilion near Lions Park.
Oh, yeah.
And they had a sign that said private event, so we figured if you have that sign, we could put it near the food truck so people know that food's not for sale, it's for the private event. And that was kind of our plan. So our request is to have permission to have that food truck come for that 2-hour period and be gone. Simple, nothing real fancy. So that's what we're requesting.
Can I comment on this? Yes. Normally, we don't allow food trucks at events, I'm pretty sure. It's one of our policies that we don't, only because I think we set that because we didn't want them going on the grasses or anything like that, or parking there, and other people would want to be using it, even if it's or two.
Well, when we originally filled out the paperwork, that wasn't the case. And then they said, well, the form they gave us was an outdated form, and then we had to come and get permission.
So then Dale had said that you can have a food truck come, drop off, come back and pick up. That's kind of our point. If they can come and set up and then come and pick up, Pleasant View has the big, there's a lot of parking there.
I know there's ample parking.
There's a lot of parking. So I don't know how that would be so disruptive, I guess, if they can come and do everything else, but they just can't come and serve the food and then leave.
I think the concern is with the parking. That's why we kind of had that policy. Yeah, go ahead.
The Parks Commission had previously made a rule that food trucks were not allowed in city parks because of parking. There were a few different reasons why they made that decision. So this would be a request to essentially supersede that. I will also note that the city has temporary use permitting requirements for food trucks. They must be licensed in the city of Franklin, so I don't know if you verified that, but we would, if this commission were to approve it, we would ask you to then submit an application to the planning department so that we could review for their licensing requirements, et cetera. I mean, we haven't allowed these kinds of trucks, so a caterer could drop something off, and if you had someone coming and cleaning up, that's reasonable, but like...
I have an email that says a food truck is allowed to come and drop off and pick up. And is Croatia Park part of Franklin?
No, it's
As
not a
far
city
as-
park.
But is it, I mean, you said they have to have a permit to serve in the city.
Mm-hmm.
Is Croatia part of the city? Is
Croatian
Franklin?
Park,
'cause this
yeah,
is one of the food trucks that's every Thursday when they do the beer garden.
sure, so then they would have to
So they
do...
would have the permit that you're speaking of.
Right, but they would need to get a temporary use permit to be at that other location. The permits are specific to locations for temporary use. So
And that's a Franklin thing, you're saying?
there's a group of requirements. There's the rule that it's not allowed in city parks. So Croatian Park is a private facility.
Right, I understand that.
So you'd be asking to change the rule here in the commission.
We're not asking to change the rule.
We're just asking for an exception for 2 hours.
For permission to have that truck come in, serve our guests, and leave.
A caterer would be allowed to come and drop off food and then leave.
Right, we understand.
So that's,
We're just making clear our request. There's paperwork that we don't know about.
Yep.
You know, we've tried to follow every rule that's been, you know, sent to us and follow up with everything, so we have. So if there's more paperwork, we'd be happy to follow up.
Does this require a permit, like a park permit to use the pavilion? So they would have to go through that and pay.
they've
Yeah, we
already
did.
done.
They've done that.
We got the approval on it. It's right here.
The difference is the service. So if you are responsible for serving the food that has been dropped off by a caterer, that doesn't require the same level of permitting. It's serving from the truck itself and not from the facilities that the city has
We understand.
provided. So, I mean, the commissioner already made a rule. If you want to make an exception to that, that is certainly up to you, but then we would still need the temporary use. So,
I somewhat feel uncomfortable with that because if we allow you to do that, then we're going to get many other permits on that, and a lot of parks can't handle the parking and stuff like that. Like I think at that park, yes, there is spaces to park and stuff like that, but I think if we allow you to do that, then other people would start asking that same request. And it is a policy for a reason.
I disagree. I think I have experience in the food industry, and what you're describing is just using it as an extension of the pavilion to be able to serve the food out of there instead of serving it, because you're not charging your guests, right? for
No,
the food.
it's all
They're
paid
going
for.
up
that would
there,
not be allowed.
they're receiving their food from the actual truck, and those trucks all have to pass food safety, sanitation laws, requirements from the state as well. The permitting, they can get that, I'm assuming, right? But when your party's in September,
September
so you
21st.
have a lot of time for it. It's just different. I see not wanting to have food trucks because then that's going to bring more cars and vehicles in, but the vehicles that are coming to their event are already attending. They're not bringing more people or vehicles. And I've seen the peanut truck. I mean, what would it take up, 1 or 2 spots, right?
Yeah, it's not that big.
And it's not even going to be there from 11 to 8, just 2-hour window when you're serving food. So I think exception of policy might be in order for something like this because it's a great way for people to be able to have food at our beautiful location that we offer people to rent for parties.
So, Marion, if we take the parks rule, the park commission rule aside for a second, is this something that a temporary use would apply for, and they potentially could get it if they applied for it and went through the process?
Correct.
So it could happen. I just don't want to set them up for if we make an exception and then they go in to file the temporary use and find out that, oh, this isn't, an approved location for a temporary use to occur.
Let me check one thing.
So while you're checking that, then I'll shift gears to another side of the equation. And Marion was also speaking about the licensing requirements for food trucks. So I would just ask that you run by the health department to make sure that this food truck has passed its most current licensing and inspection to be able to sell within the city of Franklin. It's just, and they have a database. They can just punch in the name of the food truck and make sure that they are up to date with everything.
I would assume, I'm not gonna, I know we would obviously do that, but if they're serving every Thursday at Croatia, I mean, that's part of the city of Franklin. I would think that
In theory, they should be. It's just we're coming up on. When I back up on this, June 30th is when the license year ends for them. So you would just, because your event is after that, you would just want to make sure that they
Gotcha, that
renewed
it's
their
up to
license.
date.
Yes.
Gotcha.
I'm sorry, I didn't clarify that before
No,
I
I get
started
it.
speaking.
We could check.
Yeah. So right now they're fine right now because it's before
Within
they have
that,
the license
yeah,
year.
within
Yes.
there.
Yes.
What we were trying to avoid with that policy previously was to have any food truck pull up and that
Right.
they could sell at a
Sure.
park. That we have no selling on the parks. That's one thing that would stop them from doing that. But we didn't want competing, trucks trying to vie for our park
And then
participants, right?
was the rule that was made to not have a food truck selling food, or was it no food trucks no matter what? I'm just trying to get the verbiage of if anybody remembers what the actual.
It just says food trucks not allowed.
Okay.
That's all it says.
Okay.
And just to go back, on June 11th, the email that I got from Gail Olson says that a food truck may drop off catering for an event, but is not allowed to remain in the park. So that's what we're saying, like by the time so she specifically said that you can have a food truck come in, provide the food, so that either way they're providing the food, you know what I mean?
It's not per
It's the
se
same food, whether
a
it's,
food truck selling their food
Right.
to people. It's a food truck coming in. And Pina has the restaurant too, so it's kind of an
Exactly.
extension of their restaurant catering events, right?
yeah.
Dale, you had your hand up.
Yeah, you're gonna get the food right out of the truck then?
Yes.
But I would suggest if the commission approves this, that the truck park way in the north end of the parking lot, because since the pickleball courts have been put in, kind of people going in and out of there.
Yeah, that walk that goes up
And
to the,
if you had people milling around the truck, I think
Yeah.
that would be a hazard. So I would put the truck way in the north end, just have the people walk up there
Yeah.
to keep it out of the way. That would be my suggestion.
Will they have some sort of sign that's a private event or prevent other people from walking up and
Yeah, as I said, we just attended a party at, I don't remember the name of the pavilion over at Lions
Legend, or
Park.
what's the one by the pickleball courts up on Drexel?
The one right up here by the,
park?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
they
what
have the
the
big signs.
Anyways, they had a sign, I believe it was a Parks and Rec sign that said private event in that pavilion. I assume,
I saw it.
That's that triangle
Yeah,
thing they
yeah.
put up.
yeah, it was like a sandwich board.
Yeah.
Private
We
event.
have 4 of those signs at that park, and if you could take one of those signs and
Yeah.
take it up by the food truck. We won't be there to do it when the food truck comes, but you guys can.
Yeah.
Anybody else have any other thoughts?
If you're going to approve this, I want to clarify, is it going to be a temporary suspension of the rule or?
An exception policy.
Okay. Then I would recommend that you make the sign a condition of the approval and then also the location subject to DPW review and get the temporary
Well, condition of approval of what?
of your waiver of the rule. I don't know how you.
That we make it one time, exception to policy, to allow for a catering food truck to provide service to a private event, September, whatever the date was. But you have to put the stipulation of current health
Current food
licensing,
license.
right?
Yeah.
and
Current
city
Truck license?
Food truck license. Yeah.
Food truck license? And if it gets approved, how do we check that?
I can bring it back to you once they submit and we review the application. I can provide that tomorrow. It's an administrative review, so it'll probably take
Administrative review by,
Planning staff.
what has to go to planning commission?
No.
Not plan commission,
Just
it's
planning staff.
Staff.
Okay.
It does get routed, so just so the commission is clear about what a temporary use is, this commission reviews and approves events separately in the city parks, but for a temporary use in other locations, we review a lot of things like events. And the food trucks have specific requirements that we've been working through. We have a new ordinance coming that will have a specific classification stuff that they have to do. But it basically, planning says, yes, it fits with the zoning, and then we also check with other departments about any requirements they might have. So the health department will receive notification of it. There'll be a couple of other departments. We might have conditions like the fire department, requirement about fuel or something like that. It gets routed out, they get to look at it, and we issue if it's motion.
Do I have to say it all again? I make a motion that we approve the closed private event catering truck at Pleasant View Park for the September event to be approved.
I'll second.
Does everybody agree on that?
Aye.
Yes.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for your time today.
I will follow up with you tomorrow.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
I wonder if, just as an aside from this, if there's a rule that you can't have the trucks, do we want to change the rule that if it's for catering, I can see for selling them coming in and out, but for catering, it's true. If they're going to be there, and if you limit the time frame.
I would suggest that there's some parks where you want to do it on a case-by-case basis, because I don't think you should allow them in. Like,
Oh,
yeah.
well,
Yeah, I
that's
think
way
there's
too
some-
small.
there's some that would be
Yeah, you're
too
right,
hard to
because
be.
that parking lot is pretty small.
Yeah, but if you're talking about pickleball there that same day, it's gonna have a problem. So,
That's a
you know,
big parking lot.
There's also like an overflow area. I think it should be
Just case by case.
case by case unless you want to make it specific to parks, which would also be an option. And then the temporary use permit. So Kevin asked me a question about insurance. And you asked that question in the temporary. So
Was the first request of time?
no, there had been a previous request, which was I think when they made the rule for case.
only for sales of items.
Yeah.
The ice cream truck would come in
Oh.
selling.
Yes.
Okay.
And so that's why we put it on all the parks rules, all the pavilion rules that sell goods. I don't understand as far as no food trucks and permit, where that came from. Like soliciting was the,
Yeah, that's why I asked the question about is it selling food or catering? Because if they're selling, I could see saying no, because then you don't want this mad rush of all food trucks coming in thinking they get set up in all the parks every weekend.
right.
No, I mean it would require a temporary use.
So they have to get another permit? Will you be telling them that they need a temporary?
Yeah, we just talked about it. So, in general, just for how food truck permits work, if it is for a single event or less than days, I would have it's an administrative approval, but for other locations, for multiple dates up to a certain number, it would have to go to planning commission. So I have to review the rules in cases of parks, like if a food truck were like, I would like to be there, give away ice cream, every Saturday for a couple of months, whatever, it would probably go to planning commission, but we might bring it parks as well. We would probably do that. Talk to you about it, but the ordinance is written requires to approve.
Okay. Do we have any other citizen comments or anything?
No, that's my daughter. She's attending this meeting as a part of her scout requirement for a merit badge. Under one of the.
That's good. So we'll close that up then. Approval of minutes.
Make a motion that we approve the minutes from the last meeting as written.
I second.
Does everyone agree with that?
Yep.
Unfinished business, or do we want to do more new business? What do you guys want to do?
New. Oh.
You want to arm wrestle? Want to do the new business
I
then?
feel like you
Yeah,
can get
Okay,
it
let's do
done.
the new business. A, rec department use of new courts requested by Franklin Community Recreation, Education and Recreation Department for use of new pickleball courts starting as soon as they are complete. That would be you.
Yeah, just wanted to get that confirmation of what's happening. I don't really know if we're staying where we are or if we're going to go through and want to make sure that is agreed upon with it. Right.
When will it be done?
Well, they're delayed, right, due to the rain? Is that it?
It's like rained a lot. I think it's probably fair to say that the goal was to have it done by the middle of July. Almost middle of July. Probably the end of July might be realistic.
But did you say end of July?
We'll go for that.
I stopped up
No
there
promises.
today, and the guy from the fencing said he thought the fence would be done by the end of the week. That there was concrete work and some landscaping and painting. They look good.
Yeah, it looks nice.
It looks very nice.
Our fall stuff doesn't start for the day after day anyway. So
But it would be nice.
it would be nice, obviously. But we're going to get an influx of people or anything.
If it stops raining,
Same
then
group.
we should be okay.
Okay. So hopeful end of July.
That's just a reminder. That's what caused the problems on Pleasant View. Rained a lot, loaded it. You're basically up every morning. Want to make sure it's good, right?
Do you have a motion?
I'll make a motion to move as soon as they're complete, ready to go.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
So just to clarify, or make sure I understand this, the Vernon Bar group is going to be moving to Lion Legend.
And do we want to do C then right away, election of the chairperson?
Make a motion that we nominate elect when not present.
Or unless,
I second.
I would make a
I
motion.
third that, yes.
Oh, I was gonna say I would make a motion to ask though first if anybody else would be in being the chair.
Nope.
Nope.
So do we all approve that then?
So Mike,
Mike, is it?
So Michael's resigning? Because he was on 27.
yeah, I thought we did him recently. I don't know why.
Is this every year?
You have to do the executive committee.
Okay.
So are we approving that he's still a chair?
Yes.
Yes.
He's. Because I thought they were pointing to you, Karen.
No.
So I was confused.
No, to the person not here.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
So we're all good with this then?
So
Yes?
who made, was Kristen? who
I
made
made
the
a motion to nominate.
Mary, second.
I think we should tell him.
I know.
You'll find out.
Hopefully he'll approve, right?
Yeah.
He'll say aye as well.
He'll
He's
be
done such a
good.
great job for this.
Yeah. So we
Okay.
all-
We
we
all-
all-
Yep, we all.
everybody?
Okay, election of vice chair. Can I make a comment before I move on with this? I would like to step down as vice chair. We're all good with this? Yes? So we need a new person. Yay! Is anybody interested?
I would second that.
I would third that.
Okay, so let's see, Mary made the motion. Anybody else?
Anybody else have any questions? Are we all yes on this? Yes?
Okay, hold on. Mark this all down.
Does that have a time expiration for that decision?
It's 1 year.
1 year, okay. I can.
Okay, you ready? Okay, appointment of the secretary.
And I
By
would
the chair.
say anybody else can have this job if they would like it.
I want
I would
to disagree.
You're doing a fantastic job.
I would say you're giving such detail. You
Yes.
managed to catch every word everybody's saying. I
Thank
think
you.
you need to stay there.
One more year.
Okay.
One more
And
year.
just so we're clear
We're all
though,
good with this?
you're
Yes?
appointed by the chair, and in his
Oh,
absence, it would be appointed by Karen as
Oh,
the
vice
vice
chair.
chair
Okay, all right.
today.
So we have to have a motion.
We have a motion,
No, you're just appointed, right?
Yes, I think so.
It's an appointment, so
and we all
she
agreed?
deems you
Yes.
secretary.
Oh, you
good.
just appointed.
No,
Oh, you
that
don't
is
need to
true.
vote?
I don't think
Not
so.
on you.
Her last
You all
official
want to
motion
vote
as
just
vice
to make it
chair.
official?
I
We all
appoint-
vote? Yes?
Oh,
We're all good
okay.
with this? Yes?
Oh, it just says appointment, it doesn't.
Yes,
Okay,
beautiful,
okay.
you're in.
All right. Okay.
Although, and Sue is doing a wonderful job, so if you wanted to train your successor.
I will next year. I'll do this for
That's a
one
good
more
idea.
year.
Yay, thank you.
I agree. Okay, unfinished business, update of parks maintenance.
Most of the month was taken up by working at Keels for providing support for the contract and getting that open. Had a try and look at it. At the contractor on part of it. So, besides that, getting ready for the 4th of July celebration at Legend Park. That park was also up with mulch and cleaned up. The only thing that, the construction of all courts. Park that- rest of it was- Other than that, keeping the parks all we had time for. Any questions?
Not necessarily a question, but just I wanted to thank the commission for supporting the new flooring for Kayla's Playground. I appreciate Alderwoman Day for your attendance at the open. Commissioners Gossler, Laney coming out for that opportunity, and also for Kevin, Glenn, and Dale for your help with the planning of it all. Really appreciate it. I think it turned out really nice, and people were very, very happy to have it open on Monday. So July 1, that was our day to open, and so we did that. So thank you, not only from me, but from the citizens at large that come to the Playground Daily. We have a huge ambassador crew this year. We have 20, 13 of them educators within the Franklin School District. Some are returning, some are included within that extra 7. So we're very excited. We have ambassadors out there every day of the week instead of just Thursday through Monday. So we'll be capturing some more data for the commission as far as, attendance and how everything is there. So again, thank you.
I was gonna.
I'm done. Yeah. I mean, just a huge thank you. I can't thank you enough.
And I was gonna thank you as you've done a beautiful job with that all along and stepping to maintain those ambassadors. That's not an easy job. Thank you
They're
for
a great
doing
crew.
that. Go ahead.
I want to switch subjects a little bit. I want to get time to. This is the best place to put this here. So Pete's Pathway, you may be aware that we got the grant Street's pathway. Going to go from St. Martin's, St. Martin's all the way over to 76th Street. Consultants, we did a statement of request for qualifications. Had 6 different consultants submit on it, and I asked the Common Council to provide 2 aldermen to help judge these, help grade them. I would ask for at least 1 on Parks to be joined effort. Situation is there's 6 consultants all submitted documents you'll have to read through, and they're going to tell you how they're better than anybody else that can design this pathway and grade it. So there will be a little bit of time commitment, but if one would appreciate being a part of that, I would appreciate having.
Glenn, where is that path? Can you?
It will go from 76th Street west to St. Martin Highway 100.
Have
we
they
don't connect.
decided north or south yet?
What's that?
Have they decided north or
No,
south?
that'll probably be the consultant's first effort to decide should the pathway go north or south. They'll probably look at the conflicts, the drainage issues, the number of homes, and all those things, and then throw a dollar amount. Based on that, they'll have a recommendation, and we'll have to decide if we want this option that costs X, we want that option.
How wide is the road?
Varies. That's another consideration. So state statute says we cannot them for right away for a pathway. We could make friendly offers and people could sell part of their front. Otherwise, pathway may be wandering a little bit and come up to the close to the road, kind of like what you see out front. You notice that pathway kind of wanders. I think the road down on that.
Who's the older person that does?
Well, there's 2. That's why there's 2 alders. So it's basically right on the line between district and district. So at Holford, who's going to be replaced soon, Michelle.
Does anyone live in that area?
What's the timeline?
We haven't set a timeline out yet. We've got till September to really select everybody, so we've got plenty of time to get going. I want to start lining up people to review RFQs and maybe have a meeting. Could be a Zoom meeting, or works for the group, talk about. Or I may just give you a score sheet, what based on their qualifications, based on their approach, on those kinds of things. We can make it 1 to 5 or have it form sheet. It may be a homework assignment, a meeting, or maybe. But I would appreciate it. Other people. I'm not going to participate in the selection process. I'm going to try to be nonpartisan, if you will, and try to facilitate you guys.
That's something you would be.
Is anybody interested? Contracts for the military. I'm not going to say it's my area of expertise, construction, but if you gave me a score sheet, I would.
All I'm asking.
Thank you. It's a big project.
She says
Exciting.
that.
It's gonna, no, I'm excited that it's happening because it's going to connect the Oakleaf Trail to Hell's Corners, and we'll have a bike path all the way to our city. I've already been talking to people about that, and they are excited. So that's.
If you're out here on the 4th, everybody would use the sidewalk. I think that's what
It's wonderful.
It looked good.
Anybody else have anything for that? No.
There actually was recently a legal ruling about condemning for pedestrian ways. That's changed. So I can find the text of that, but I got a notification out of it. It's a very recent change.
I think it has to be more road sidewalk kind of situation as opposed to pathway.
Okay, I'll pull it and see.
It has to be a street amenity, not separated pathways.
Okay,
That was pedestrian pathways, you said?
Yeah, the law makes a distinction between effectively a trail and a sidewalk. And there was a court case that was completed.
okay, can we move on to B then? Okay, park facilities reservation permits policy discussion for reservation policies in league sports and other groups, fees, rules and policies for parks. Pickleball facility rental and reservation policy.
I don't have an update on this unless the commission has any discussion.
I don't know if you have, but you mentioned at the last meeting you were going to show some of the people in the department the software, or it was going to be demonstrated?
Yeah, I had a lot of difficulty scheduling that because I'm not available. So kind of affecting my timeline on that. They won't be available until after the August election, apparently. But that is a good point that for future discussion, we should probably talk about fees for the rental office. Because if we're going to allow reservations and you want to consider fees, we would structure for that. We need to look at how the fees are determined. They're set by this commission, not in the ordinance. So
We had started that policy thing, the pickleball and stuff. We haven't come back to
I don't know if we ever said.
No, we had never.
Yeah, we do have a starting point for it, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wrote some things that document.
We need to review that whole document and add that.
But last time we had said we were waiting to find out the capability of the programming behind it, because like our rentals is an hour and a half, can we set limitations, those kinds of things are provider.
yeah, actually, and that's actually a good set of questions for us today is like, are there things that you want us to ask during that discussion? Because the one that we're meeting with is probably going to be my recommended provider.
To MyRec? We're doing MyRec. We use MyRec.
Plus, maybe just but they do have the ability to do like some of them can only do single day rental. This, it appears, can do multiple time slots.
Yeah, you would want to do time slots. Is that one you're going to have demonstrated for you?
Yeah. I've already had a demo of this software. I'm like a quick review of it. But we need to sit down with DPW and to evaluate what the right. So
We'll say a lot of these types of registry softwares charge per your revenue. So I know that.
So at present we have so little that we would be well below. They're kind of like
Reading that 10 grand, I think. Way too. I mean, like, you guys wouldn't never hit
10 grand
for the year for the software. So
Oh, for the
thinking
software
about
rental.
stuff, that's
yeah. The total revenue last year was 35,000. That was gross. And that's correct. So that's how we structure their fee.
Want some of those now? Or how do you that to
If you think of stuff right now, like is there stuff that you know of off the top of your head, but please feel free to email me if something pops in your brain.
Sometimes it's good to go to their website and check them out. That works kind of
we talked about payment, how to pay online, the processing of the payment, real-time availability for scheduling. If there's a delay, like they have to do same-day bookings, making sure that they can cancel. What's our cancellation policy?
Yeah.
Reports that we can get from it, how many people, how much money, how does the end data get presented?
And I'm thinking about
Would you also
security of it, you know, that their clients with like don't get hacked and something happens.
Oh yeah.
What else? Would there be any support for the programming after we purchase it?
They all provide that.
They do.
Yeah.
Okay.
What
So
about
what does that mean? Then of course, and is it like a one-time payment or is it going to be use or?
Yeah, it varies between the services. Some of them have like a base number of licenses per license. So for each user, some of them it's based on overall revenue program. So I will say the real-time scheduling, one of the pieces of feedback that the clerk's office has given us that they want to be able to approve the reservation, so it wouldn't be real-time. Someone would actually be required to review and say, yes, that's okay, there's not anything else somehow this calendar didn't capture. So that it wouldn't necessarily be real-time for that. And there is an existing cancellation policy for reservations that we could either carry over or modify. So I know that's built into, you can seek a cancellation, but I don't really know how it works on the council side because in my department, a reimbursal requires council. So, but I don't think that's the case.
Then I know this is with the rec department, resident are different. So that's an option for just on how valid that is with their profile.
ours had the option of a city limit thing. You type in all the addresses, agree with some school districts, stuff like that. So we just kind of go by word, and then we look it up and then ask if we have questions about some Milwaukee.
Yeah, and you can, some of them allow you to like load a pre-existing user group where people can create an account and be verified is another option, but again, this varies a lot. So it could, probably the simplest administratively would be to do just on the but you could try to verify based on property.
If you did they did an audit, you know, once a year, or I don't know how often.
Yeah, and unfortunately, like things like mailing addresses, there's a cost to get the database to verify against. So
yeah, I was going to say it's not that much money. What about would they need to know if they could reserve more than one court?
Yeah, like
I don't know if that matters.
Yeah, that'll be more our policy side, but for the program, I think it's more like calendar time limitation. We set limit, right? Because that's what we were looking for.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah.
But it might be hard for enforcement because you could reserve it one week and Marion reserves it the next, but you're really playing together. You know, if you don't have to. I guess.
So we need the program to be able to circumvent or work around. Catch those, right? Yeah.
yeah, and then I think we should probably talk through what would like league reservations look like. Rec department league, but then if private league owner, do you want to allow that?
Yeah. Or are we going to split them up to leave a couple parks as first come, first serve and only have like legend?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I know Chair Wrench has felt strongly that there should
Well,
question.
That's later on down.
Yeah. There's a lot of.
Anybody else have any questions? Okay, let's move on to C, budget. Parks Commission request for information on parks finances.
I do not have an update on this either. We need to get you information from the finance department, but at present, we're working through the software question. Otherwise, July, so I'd like to do a first 2 quarter. I'll follow up about that.
All right, the parks marketing materials, park amenities, donation policy, parks marketing materials, including maps, pamphlets, etc. Last week we had mentioned we should get something online in regards to the tennis and the pickleball thing, so people know where they are and stuff. And I know Dale had done one before, and he said he didn't want to do that, so he asked me to do another one, so I did. So I did put a couple things in there. I don't know if they're true, so you'll have to quickly read them over, and I can make those changes. Oh, can I have one? I didn't. So. It's done in color, and it turned out nice. I just didn't. I used the same colors as you did. Yep.
Nice.
And
This
I kind
is
of.
great.
Can you send me a online?
After we approve it, I can send it to you. Yeah.
So I get it by this week.
Oh, this week? Oh. Well, if you, yeah, I'll get it to you after we approve it then. Okay.
This is great.
So the questions I have, like with the nets and stuff, like some of the courts are like permanent or pickleball courts, so the nets are always up then, right? There's always nets there, or do you have to bring your own nets?
No, they're up, but they take them down.
Right,
But
right.
yeah.
I mean for the
No,
season.
with the permanent,
Okay, so because I kind of with those
well,
little.
like where it says painted on, like at Vernon Barg, there's 4 painted on the tent. So those you'd need nets. But the pickleball courts, those are.
Right, so I kind of put under the notes there, I say dedicated courts, those are permanent courts that the nets are always set up.
Oh,
And then with the other ones, then it's right on the right hand or the left hand side.
oh, okay.
I don't know if that's true or not. Is that how we do that?
Because we're not doing private rentals right now until we get the software, perhaps we might want to consider using something like special use. Something we did do an exception for a rental for somebody who rented the pavilion, that they could rent the courts as well. But if you put private rental in, we're going to have people sitting in here in our meetings wanting to rent or rent it. So if we could just use this as the announcement of like, we're not doing that yet because we're working on getting the software to be able to do it at the volume that we need to do it, right? That might be better. So maybe
Just take out the private rental?
take it out, maybe replace it with a special use permit.
Special
or
event.
Special event.
I like special event.
I think the case that you allowed was a tournament.
Company.
or something.
Okay.
Yeah, a tournament, and we had that company party they wanted to do.
Yep.
Rent the courts, right? And then take out rental season, take out rental, and maybe just put on Monday mornings, mid-April through October. Don't even put during the rental season. Because we'll just say during the
So
season.
cross out rental season.
Yeah.
So what is it gonna say? A paper schedule will be posted at the court entrances on Monday mornings,
Mid-April through October.
However, the schedules may not be accurate if in person. Take out the rest of that?
Schedules may not be accurate if
So since
special
we're not
events,
taking,
right? Yeah, I don't think we can do that actually.
Just leave
Okay,
it.
Take it out. Yeah.
Once we get the software, they'll have to.
Put schedules are subject to change. That just gives us a nice
Oh,
clear
yeah.
number.
Monday, mid-April to October, subject to change. Yeah.
Okay. We need a lot of places. And then I have your little group there. Is that what you guys provide? Clinics, lessons, open play?
We don't
leagues,
do,
no tournaments?
we don't do
No lessons.
We do offer a variety, offers, well, it's learn to play
Learn to
usually
play,
throughout the
one
season,
day.
but,
Well, you do the tennis.
oh, yeah,
We're so focused on pickleball.
yeah.
So keep the lessons in?
Well,
Does tennis,
Open.
they have tennis lessons?
yeah, so get rid of clinics and leave lessons, open play leagues. We haven't done tournaments, it would be nice.
So how do we tell somebody that they request the return?
I don't think we ever did before, they came with the request.
You could say something like special event requests directed to the Parks Commission. Contact the clerk's office. They'll need a pavilion permit. You would require.
Should be directed to the clerk's office?
Or something like
Yeah.
That's it? Anything else?
Yeah, I got a
Yeah,
quick-
no.
Just a couple
well-
things. When you put this flyer out, I worry about the pickleball courts that are painted on the tennis courts that use the same net. Because a few times I've noticed that people use the center strap to pull the net down to 34 inches for pickleball on a tennis court. And I don't check it all the time, I don't go around, measuring it all the time. But I know in Greendale, they pull them down certain nights of the week, I think. And I don't know if people are going to do that more if this is promoted. But I think we should tell people that no changing of the net height. Like I said, it happened already, and it's going to happen again, but I don't want it to happen.
What do they do to pull it down?
You
The
can
zip
use,
tie?
you just adjust the center strap, you can pull it down.
Oh,
I think you could put that in as a bullet right in between the players provide balls, racket, paddle, and no court outdoor lights provided. It's something really short, like no adjustments of nets.
Yeah, I think Greendale does that from a different location. They can lower those ones at the very end of the visitor center. What
And
about
the-
the super-
The other thing was posting the schedule, changing schedule, like reservations during the week. You're going to have all new folders because the frames that we have are kind of permanent schedules, and you got to unscrew them to put a new schedule in. So keep that in mind. And then plus that's extra work for us to see who's on the schedule and then take them off. I guess it's not a problem doing it, but remember that we're kind of limited manpower. So
Once they get the software, if you put up like kind of at the playgrounds where you have to put a permit, you guys wouldn't have to do it. They would have to be responsible. Person who rented the court.
oh, I thought
Is that what you're,
something in here that says
or am I, oh, maybe I'm
A
not
paper
getting-
schedule posted in the court.
no.
Yeah, it is permanent now, yeah. Maybe you don't need that.
How about take out Monday mornings, and it can just go in anytime. Paper.
Yeah, because I think with the reservations at the reserve sites, last year you posted something, didn't you? But it was just the one time.
You can take out
It up all
Mondays.
season.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah,
Take
we have a
paper
month this
schedule
year
and will be
too,
posted
but
court entrance
being scheduled.
Periodically.
mid-April through or mid-April through October reservation.
That's what I'm saying.
schedule will be posted at court entrances. Period. Period.
All right, anything else?
Aurora?
Oh, that's coming up.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said we were done.
No, I didn't. No, I didn't.
I missed it.
The
No,
last part
just with
here,
that.
visit the website to view reserves. We can take that out and just say, for more information, visit our website. Right? This should be on there. Billion. All right. Thanks for doing this. This is really something.
Well, it was requested. Were we gonna put that, park rental on the website? We just did.
If it hasn't been posted yet,
I haven't seen it.
okay.
I didn't see your booklets about
I don't know. I don't.
the library.
I never even seen them.
Yeah, I haven't seen
Long
them yet.
story.
Here's where they are, and I will say the health department's park thing, I am really getting positive feedback. We saw her at the event, and she
opening,
was
yeah.
like, "Wow, this is so great." And my daughter and I went around to Middle Column and started taking pictures of all the parks during the summer to make it look.
That has really been
Yeah.
a big bonus.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a group of people that worked with the health department for the health. So when you were there, that meeting, so a group of community members worked hard to put that together, and plus this was a bonus to be back.
Yep, good.
Yes, that's what it's for. We are promoting it through our ambassador program. Whole stack of them out sharing information. So, and then once we see any ambassador that sees a family with one, we're giving out a Kayla's Playground sticker that was made by the high school. So, and it's been a great program.
Did the parks maps get to the library?
I will have to check if Commissioner Malecki isn't nowhere there. They must still be with John. So we will need to make sure they get distributed.
Did the commission ever think about it having a table at National Night Out? Promoting the parks?
That's August.
August 5th.
Usually
Be a good idea.
Wouldn't it? Because I took this last year when you first made it and showing people. And I don't know, I think it's just really good for the community to know what we have in our community. I don't think a
You could
lot
probably
of residents
I mean, if
know.
you're promoting it, you could probably double dip with the health department table and have
Yeah.
your stuff and their stuff together.
I'll be there for Kayla's ambassador program, but I don't know if anyone from the commission. I'd highly recommend it. You meet a lot of people in the community. I'm sure you're going to see lots of people through your interactions and various activities. So I would recommend. Awesome. You would want to let me know if you want to. Officer Gary Wallace is the officer that plans that and coordinates that. So, next.
Be good.
The bill from, but I'm pretty sure I know what that is. I did put in extra money for it, so.
Oh, that's a month away.
So with those maps, did you want them waterproof, like as in like a banner kind of thing? A little bigger than this?
Oh,
Like
I meant
bigger?
to hand out.
Oh, to hand out.
The big one, I still think we should have those kiosks in the parks.
One nice thing is you can have this, if you do the QR code, whoever did that, have people just not not even necessarily have a paper copy, but I have it right on my screen. You know, and I've been showing people that method too, that you don't have to have a
Take a
paper
picture of
copy.
it and then
Yeah, I mean, it links right there. You can encourage that as well if cost is an issue.
That actually works very nicely, especially at the playground,
Yeah.
because, you know, you give it to somebody and then it's on a bench where you're chasing. So that's
All right, anything else? Okay, let's move on to E then, Aurora Trail proposal, discussion and proposal trail, 9200 West Loomis Road to current with future Watertown Park. Well, we kind of discussed that already, right? Oh, okay.
No, we
That
didn't
was that
discuss
other-
it.
wasn't here.
that was that other
Okay.
Eats path.
So you recognize this,
Yes.
our sign we settled on our Tower Park with our on. Go out there, we're building towers. Don't go out there and walk around. So, you notice,
I was planning on it though.
I knew you were. Up in this corner, our property actually touches this Aurora. When you see here, this is the connection. I actually walked back there with some Aurora folks. They came up from. They're excited about this. There is actually a boardwalk. So it's wasn't put in very well. It's been heaving and hoeing.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, look at the walk across it. We put a lot of skate parks to shame. It's pretty cool. But that's what this is right here. So the thought is that we could actually, there's a huge wetland. Don't know yet. The idea is that we would come off maybe the end of the parking lot around and actually connect to the Evans Pond condos. You could actually connect to our pathway system in Bar Tower Park. There is a way you can sneak around the back, boardwalk. Not sure exactly how we get up here. We may have to talk about maybe the church say talk to them about maybe an easement from them. And coming down boardwalk and Loomis, connect to the library, city hall, and so forth. So we have park impact fees. Also Aurora employee who lives near Franklin is the head of Ducks Unlimited for West. And he's kind of excited about the idea too, doing something like this, even improving the wetland. So the idea is, I don't have any dollars out yet. It's still kind of a concept. Aurora hasn't committed any dollars, although they're really excited about it. It's possible we could maybe spend park impact fees 3%. The rest of it might come from donation. Hospital and possibly that's something they fund. So I haven't taken this to common council yet, but I guess I wanted, before I go to common council, I want the Parks Commission to look at it and say, yeah, it's a great idea, or no, it's a good idea. That's the owner. So there's Bar Tower Park is over here. Hendrickson's actually owns property. Developer owns that. Church is on the top. Target Center, Target Complex, if you will, up there. But I think it would, you could actually get from City Hall and walk over to Bar Tower Park fairly easy. Their employees could go out and walk. So basically, you do like a loop.
Be the distance of
I don't know. Like 30 seconds ago, I was saying, oh, it'd be nice if you, like, say, walk 3 times around for a month.
Yeah.
Of course, that'll come part of the design. I mean, I just drew some lines on them. They are fairly well defined because obvious places across. Maybe you could actually.
Would you then, you mentioned like City Hall going across, and walk, would there be a concern about crossing the mess at that location, or would you put like
I
a
would tell you-
crosswalk, like what's down further into
I would
Dale?
tell you, I see people crossing it all the time. It is. Especially with the new pathway on Loomis. I don't know, well, I'll have to talk to DOT. That would be a,
Because of the walkway on the right, it's great, but be able to have access on that side would be better.
good point. I can tell you, it's not uncommon to see people crossing over to.
Our library wanted to do this
Well,
program,
right,
do a
right,
nature walk as
exactly.
a part of a.
Right, right.
They would.
Well,
It's
the
just
problem
something to
is
think
they have
down the
this-
road,
Sure.
because they have that
Yeah, they have
by
to go to
And
the
the nice-
further into
They
Greenfield.
have to go.
and
The nice thing
Greenfield.
is that you could do it so that if you just cross the median, stop.
Yeah.
A little bit safer crossing. Two lanes of traffic plus a turn lane.
Yeah.
Didn't we say something about maybe seeing if the path wants to loop into that?
We did. I actually went up and talked to the church, so I was thinking that it might pop out up here. Gentleman I talked to, went up there one day, and catch a guy who was out there mowing his deacon or elder or something. He said at one time they did allow people to walk through there. They got their shed burned down because the kids were playing with fire or something in there. So he says they didn't do it. But I would, after I laid this out, I can see maybe they cross it. But I don't think they want us to. Based on
So the trail that was in there, they haven't needed it, they just let it
it's
go?
there. You can actually walk through it. Go back and walk through it. I don't think go out and take it. Motion to recommend the common council consider development of.
I would make a motion for the common council to.
Develop a trail or considered.
A recommendation to develop a trail, right?
Yeah, so I would imagine, probably in the beginning, we might pay for the engineering to kind of scope it out, find, how much it costs, how long these boardwalks need to be, what kind of boardwalk would turn out like that. And once you get that in line, then you would have a serious discussion with the hospital, and really kind of a nice way to, we have parking back these. This is a nice way we can do it without really budget.
You could also do phasing with it, so do the south loop and then, if funds allow, do the bigger bit.
The nice, there is a fairly boardwalk is going to be pricey. Get across there, that's really kind of a nice short plan. Parking makes the parking lot. The rest of it would really be nice to do the overall, again, loop, so 3 times or 4 times.
You get
So
all
they'll
that?
have
I-
a motion.
Motion
No,
to,
what do I
motion
need to
to
say to
common
finish it,
council
Mary?
to develop a trail.
At the Aurora property, or I guess we're doing a preliminary, site survey of,
I would say just.
or proposals,
Say to the
Period.
develop a trail. There you go.
they'll decide what they want, but at least they know. Like,
Yeah.
You don't want to say about connecting to the water tower. Okay, I second.
All in favor? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that's we can adjourn now. The next meeting is Monday, August 12th, 2024.
Christmas.
I know, isn't that scary?
Half over anyway, for sure.
You have to make a motion.
And you gotta start turning back
Yes.
coffee.
I make a motion to
No.
adjourn.
That's-
Make okay, I'll second that. 7:40.
Please, let's go.
Okay, everybody agrees.
We're done.
Okay.
All right.